Good Friday morning and happy Groundhog Day to you. I'm Jared Klein coming to you live from the 29 News Digital Desk. We begin this morning in Charlottesville on our morning rush. That's where the school board is considering options to make the high school safer. Back in November, unruly behavior led to classes being canceled. At a meeting last night, weapons detectors were brought up as well as bringing back school resource officers. Some parents voiced opposition to both those ideas. Planning and construction continues on the Greenway at Biscuit Run Park. The 2-mile connector will make it easier to access the park. The project has been in the works since 1999. Parts of the Greenway are privately owned, so the county is still trying to figure out how to move forward with the project. If you own a home, business, or property in Charlottesville, the value has probably gone up this year. Assessor Jeffrey Davis says the average increase on taxable properties is 5%. Davis says if you have any questions or want to discuss your assessment with the city, there's still time to submit an appeal. The deadline, though, is February 29th. And just in out of Pennsylvania, Punxsutawney Phil has made his prediction. He's calling for an early spring. It's all in good fun and good for tourism. More than 30,000 people visit Gobbler's Knob in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania every year to celebrate Phil's forecast. So good news this morning with that forecast.
I know. You and I both said we were predicting an early spring.
We predicted an early spring, but you know, it's really been such a light winter so far.
Yeah, that's true. We thought we were going to get lots of snow.
Yeah, wrong once again.
Not so far, not so much. Okay. All right. So there's a new census out that shows where kind of people are, like the population, like where the youngest and oldest people are. Mm-hmm. So the oldest people, number one, Maine, Puerto Rico, New Hampshire, Vermont, West Virginia, Florida, Delaware, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, and Hawaii. And then young people are living in, number one, Utah, DC, Texas, Alaska, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Idaho, Kansas, Georgia. So it's interesting to kind of see where the population, as far as the age is that people are living.
It seems pretty random. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily think, Alaska, Kansas.
I wouldn't either.
Be places attracting a bunch of young people, but maybe people in those states are having more children, and that's kind of skewing the...
Yeah, and probably cost of living.
Cost of living.
You know?
I mean, Texas doesn't surprise me. That's one of the most rapidly growing states.
Right.
DC's expensive, though.
Yeah, it is. I wouldn't want to live there. Alaska, though, is interesting.
Yeah, Alaska is interesting.
Yeah.
But I guess the oldest doesn't really surprise me. I mean, Florida, West Virginia.
Right. Maine, though, is number one.
Maine.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think in New England, the population is tending to skew more older these days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because you see Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
All those northern states. All right, so in Japan, this is just, I can't even. There are pig cafes where you can go and like hang out with these little pigs and like hug them, and they're the size of like these toy poodles. Mm-hmm. And it's this trend that's taking off in Japan. It's this craze, I should say. The Meat Pig Cafe, there's at least 10 pig cafes that opened around Japan, and the first one opened in Tokyo in 2019. Mm-hmm. But it's like people like to go to these cafes and hang out with these little pigs.
I would definitely hang out with a pig.
I would too.
Oh, so cute.
They are so cute.
Yeah.
And they're mini. They're like a little poodle.
Yeah, it says they don't grow bigger than a corgi. So
yeah.
That's adorable. I hope that becomes a trend here.
Wouldn't that be something?
I definitely visit.
You and I would be there like all the time. And okay, this is hysterical. So this child in, I believe it's Australia, crawled, you know those claw machines?
Yeah.
Crawled through the opening and up and got stuck in there.
Wow.
And the police had to be called. They finally told the child to go to the corner so they could break the glass to get the child out. I don't know. I guess no one had a key to open it up.
I was about to say, because I can see like the key thing on the top to open it.
So here they are. The mom is. They're telling the mom to tell the little boy to cover his eyes, and then they smash it. And of course, you can kind of see that he's kind of the size of those those stuffed animals. See there, they break the glass.
That's just impressive that he got in there.
I mean, I've had toddlers, and you really have to like watch them where they're going.
Yeah.
Every second of the day. I mean, he climbed in there and probably was like, "Oh, this is great."
Yeah, toddlers work fast.
They are fast.
They're like, this is how you get to all the toys. Don't use the claw.
No.
All right.
So
But
there you have it.
he probably won't remember this, but it's a story that his parents can tell him.
And it's gone viral. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Brisbane, Australia. So
All right, let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. We've got a high of 54 today, and it looks like this coming week will be a copy and paste of that with highs in the 50s, mostly sunny skies out there, no chances of rain. So this dry, mild stretch continues for us. I hope you guys have a great Friday and a great weekend out there. We'll see you again on 29 News at noon.